The first track is DG Music, Waste of Time, produced by DG, it says. So this man's produced his own tracks, it looks like. So for that track, I feel like there were too many effects on the vocals right off the bat. The vocals were too quiet. I feel like there could have been some vocal layering. You want to have a secondary or even like two, like a left and a right, to put effects on and not have the main layers so saturated in effects, because it will muddy it. It will throw it to the back of the track more. You want to be able to have that clean main layer. I feel like the performance could have been a little more, you know, there could have been a little more energy, a little more of yourself put into it. You want to be making your tracks believable. You want people to understand and believe where you're coming from, whatever the message is, whether it's just a fuck around track or something serious. Piano Keys by Rhythmic Beats. I would give that like a 5 out of 10. Okay, so for with this beat, those O's, the samples, I would probably just not use them. But if anything, if you're gonna use them way less. I like that little kind of solo at the end of the beat. I definitely feel like the spacing of the drums in the mix could be tweaked. Other than that, the mix is all right. I could see myself freestyling to this. You know, I could see someone making a song to it. It feels like it needs a little more. I would give that 6.5 out of 10. The next song is Bando by Drastic Measures. I had it mixed up.
You can catch me in the drop top, Range Rover, M-Truck, Lambo. Used to be a trap nigga, stack of figures. You could catch me in the bando. Now it's on the bigger things, pay my mama crib and everything can handle. You can catch me in the drop top, Range Rover, M-Truck, Lambo. Pay my mama rib off everything can handle. Stocked up on the chips like Pringles. Iced out all chains like Django. Stocked up on the hoes like ammo. Hit your bitch but like every single angle. She a flip, dog. Make a flip, hit a lick, talking bands off. Split the chips for my day ones. Pulling up in all black like Akon. I'm on fire, motherfucker, like the flame on. And my eyes straight shine like the flame on. With an aim on, everything is sprayed on. Stack of figures, you can catch me in the bando. Now it's on the bigger things, pay my mama crib and everything can handle. You can catch me in the drop top, Range Rover, M-Truck, Lambo.
That was really nice. It was good that there wasn't too much auto-tune used, and that's probably because the artist has the vocal control to be able to do this. You could tell that he's not belting it out, but he's still hitting it good enough to the point where the auto-tune can put everything into place without it sounding wacky. The mixing was pretty fucking spot on. I'm trying to think of something that I didn't like about it, but I kind of just vibed with the whole track. It was smooth, but it still had some bounce to it, so you could still get hyped to something like this, or just chill to it, you know, either or. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Odarka with Let Me Feel Your Truth featuring Typhon. Ooh. I'm gonna give this one a 6.5 out of 10, and here's why. The vocals were not nearly present enough. They didn't sound dry enough. They didn't sound in the foreground. They sounded more in the background. To me, it's hard to get into a track when the vocals aren't right there with the beat. It felt like they were pushed back, and that is probably from effects, or maybe just the volume of the tracks. I don't know, but either way, you want them vocals to kind of be punching through a little bit. You obviously, all this is about finding a balance between this and that. Tim TM Music with On the Losing Faith radio edit. Let's check this out.
It's such a liberation, let my worries left in vacation. And everyone and everything was created on elation. We create our lives as we die in time. What's the in-between leaves it up to you and me. Maybe the devil only exists in religions you believed. I'm having a hard time.
All right, I'm gonna give this one probably a 4 out of 10. It was really hard for me to vibe with it. The mix, the delivery, and the sounds used in the percussion side of the instrumental. I like the melodic part of the instrumental, but you want to go around and try to find new sounds, whether it's a hi-hat, a kick, or a snare, whatever, because these seem like, very just standard, like dated EDM drum samples. And you're gonna want to get better samples the more you do stuff like this. The vocals, I would recommend using a pitch enhancer, pitch correction, auto-tune, whatever you got, because the notes, definitely a good amount of them were not hitting. Up next, we got 27 with Fetish.
I hop out of cool, bomb in my jeans, in love with the loot, it bust out the scene, got lost in my cup, I'm stuck in a dream, fetish for this paper, and choppers with beams, I'm on a plate, what am I say, dick in the dirt, I made
Dick
a
in the
way,
dirt.
hop out of vape, kill him like tape, chopping out the bando, got weed and lean, hopping out the Lambo, with Louis me. Spit a few bands on my drip, couple hundred for the Dracos, extended clips. Waking up every morning to a different bitch. Got so many haters in the dick. Sent 27 shots, ain't near miss. And they diamond VB in the shit city. They say need a feature, need a whole brick. Got sign looking like I hit a lick. Yeah, I might pull up in the Rolls, hop in the jet and I hit a new course. I do this shit for my bros. Pop us a bottle, let's have us a toast.
All right, I would definitely give this a 7.5 out of 10. I feel like the vocal presence could be tweaked just a tiny bit to make them a little more forward. So just some very minor tweaks, and that could be super fire. Kevin 11 with Used To, featuring 7-7.
Used to never wanna be here, always living in fear, but now it's just a new year. Used to live in fear, yeah, used to live in doubt, yeah. Used to never really wanna open up my mouth, yeah. Had a lot of opportunities but never bounced, yeah. Try to make that money, put it in my bank account, yeah. Was lost for a while, but I had to reroute, yeah. Trying to do a smile, now I'm never feeling down, yeah. Smoking loud every day, yeah, I'm never coming down, yeah. Whoa.
This track, I'm going to give a 6.5 out of 10. There's too much reverb on the hook and the first verse, without a doubt. You want to turn that down on your main layer, for sure. The second verse, I feel like it could use some reductive EQing. The flows were dope. So, and then make sure your layers are blended in a little more, your side layers. Don't want them to stick out too much, otherwise it'll sound a little too crowded.